Hello students, how are you all? Last session we saw about autotrophic nutrition. Yes, what is photosynthesis? The green plants can prepare their own food in the presence of water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. Yes. Then what are the steps? Absorption, conversion, splitting of water molecule, reduction of carbon dioxide. Okay, what is stomata? Tiny pores on the lower epidermal surface of leaves. Okay, let us see today heterotrophic nutrition. Already you know the meaning. Heterotrophic means they are depending on others for their food. They cannot synthesize their own food. In this case, energy is derived from the intake and digestion of organic substances, normally of plants or animal sources. Example: animals, human being, fungi. Saprophytic nutrition. Already we saw in heterotrophic three types. What are they? Saprophytic, parasitic, and holozoic. Now we can see saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytes means the organisms obtain nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter. Best example we can say mushroom. They are getting their food from dead and decaying. Here in this diagram it shows a fungus, agaricus, that only. Parasitic nutrition. For that also already you know very well. Best example, head louse, bedbug. Here in this diagram Cuscuta is shown. It is a total stem parasite. Okay. The organism which depends on other organism is called a parasite. The organisms from which the food is absorbed is called host. There is a relationship between host and parasite in which one organism is benefited, parasite is getting benefit, the host is harmed. Plasmodium, liver fluke, ascaris, in our intestine even tapeworm. Here diagram shows the insectivorous plants. Already in 7th standard you studied about the Nepenthes or pitcher plant. When the insect is coming and sit over the plant, then it moves and change its shape and get the nourishment from the insect. That is only pitcher plant and Drosera. Holozoic nutrition. Best example amoeba. In this type of nutrition, the animals take food in the form of a solid state. It involves number of processes. First one, ingestion. Already you know, taking complex organic food through the mouth. Then digestion, breakdown of complex food material into simple diffusible form. Absorption, the digested food is absorbed into the blood or lymph. Then assimilation, that is absorbed food is stored, utilized for future utilization. Then egestion, the undigested food is expelled out or passes out. Example, mammal, amoeba, hydra. Some more examples we can see: osmotropic nutrition, coprozoic nutrition, and mixotropic nutrition. Osmotropic nutrition is nothing but they are getting the food in the digested form. Best example, tapeworm. It is inside our intestine. So the food which is digested already received by tapeworm through the process of diffusion. So they do not have well developed digestive systems. Next one, coprozoic nutrition. They depend on fecal matter. Best example, pig. Then mixotropic nutrition. The organisms use more than one type of nutrition. Best example, Euglena. Euglena is a plant animal. Nutrition in amoeba. Already you know what type of nutrition? Holozoic. The process of obtaining food is called what? Phagocytosis. That is, the food material is in the form of a solid. Then amoeba get its food from animals, microscopic animals and plants which are present in water. Ingestion is taking place with the help of pseudopodia. You know, pseudopodia false feet protruded outside. That is only pseudopodia. With the help of that, it encircles the food. Pseudopodia, when two pseudopodia touch each other, the food is in the center. The membrane at the point dissolved and the food is captured into cell just like a bag. Then that is called a food vacuole. Now you can see it in the diagram very clearly. Food particle in between pseudopodium, it is trapped. Then now when the pseudopodia touches just like a bag-like structure, then digestion started. In food vacuole, the digestion is completed with the help of digestive enzyme. The process is intracellular digestion. Three types of enzymes are there. Amylase act on the starch. Protease convert protein into amino acid. Lipase act on fat and converted into fatty acid and glycerol. Then by diffusion, absorption and assimilation takes place. The undigested food remain in the vacuole which is thrown out, that is exocytosis. Nutrition in human being. In this diagram you can see the digestive system of human. Here mainly two parts are there. One is alimentary canal, second one digestive glands. See the diagram, mouth. There are three pairs of salivary glands are shown, that is sublingual, parotid and mandibular. Then next you can see the long esophagus, then J-shaped stomach. Below the stomach you can see yellow color pancreas, then right side largest gland liver, then below the pancreas we can see the intestinal part, then last rectum or anus. The parts of alimentary canal: mouth, buccal cavity. Buccal cavity includes tongue and teeth, then pharynx, esophagus, esophagus commonly known as food pipe, then J-shaped stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Small intestine, there are three parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Large intestine is ascending colon, transverse colon and descending colon, then rectum and anus. Digestive glands. What are the glands are present here? There are three pairs of salivary glands. It secretes saliva. In saliva, salivary amylase or ptyalin enzyme for digestion of starch or carbohydrate. The next gastric gland. Gastric juice is secreted. It contains hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus. Then next pancreas, pancreatic juice. That pancreatic juice include pancreatic amylase, pancreatic trypsin and pancreatic lipase. Then liver. Liver secrete bile juice. Then intestinal gland, that is a small intestinal gland. They mainly duodenum. Intestinal juice is secreted, that is nothing, succus entericus. Yes, here in this diagram you can see the mouth, buccal cavity very clearly. How many teeth you have? 32. Yes, what is the number? 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes, what is 2? 2, 1, 2, 3. It represents only half portion of the upper jaw, or we can say half portion of the lower jaw. Yes, 8, 8, 8, 8. So 32. First two is what? Incisor. Next one is canine. Then next two, that is premolar. Then next three is molar. In addition to all this, after certain age, wisdom tooth may form. Yes. Now the mouth opens into buccal cavity. The floor of the buccal cavity has a tongue. Already you know tongue has taste buds for tasting bitter, sour, salt, sweet taste. Tongue helps in ingestion of food. Tongue act like a spoon and mix the food with saliva, then pushes the food into the esophagus. Then both upper and lower jaws are provided with different types of tooth. Already we saw incisa, canine, premolar and molar. What is the use of this? Incisa for cutting the food, canine for tearing the food, premolar and molar for crushing and grinding the food. The teeth helps in mastication of food. Here the food is mixed with saliva which contain enzyme ptyalin. So in the mouth, ptyalin or amylase enzyme secreted by salivary gland. Ptyalin helps in digestion of starch or carbohydrate, we can say, into maltose, that is simple sugar. So carbohydrate digestion started mainly in the buccal cavity. Nearly 70% of carbohydrate is digested in the mouth itself. Then mouth opens into a small funnel-shaped pharynx and finally to a long tubular esophagus. Esophagus is a muscular portion. Only peristaltic movement occur. Because of that, the food reaches the J-shaped stomach. In esophagus, no digestion takes place. The stomach has branched and tubular glands that secrete gastric juice. Gastric juice is a mixture of HCl, pepsin and mucus. First, HCl only acts on the food and makes the food acidic. Then pepsin convert the protein into peptone. Then mucus helps the walls of the stomach from HCl activity, and also HCl helps to kill the germs. Small intestine. Next, from the stomach, the food passes to the first part of the small intestine, that is called a duodenum. When the food reaches the stomach or after some time we are getting vomit, then if you are testing that vomit, it will not answer for iodine test. Why? Repeatedly this question also for 1 marks many year came in the board. Why? What is the reason? In the mouth itself 70% of the carbohydrate is digested. Carbohydrate presence only answer for iodine. When the food reaches the stomach, maximum carbohydrate already digested. After that only we are getting vomit. So there is no carbohydrate. So it will not answer for iodine test. Now many finger-like projections are found in the intestine. It increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. In the duodenum, it receives pancreatic juice from pancreas and bile juice from liver. Bile duct brings from the liver. Here, bile juice emulsifies the fat and also makes the food neutralize, because when the food reaches the duodenum from the stomach, it is in acidic condition. So it should be neutralized with the help of alkaline juice which is coming from bile. Because of that, bile juice acts on it and emulsifies the fat. Then pancreatic juice secreted by pancreas also reaches there and helps in digestion of protein. Pancreatic amylase helps in breakdown of starch. Lipase helps in breakdown of fat into fatty acid and glycerol. So all the three types of nutrient digested here. The villi absorb the digested food and supply to each and every cell of the body for obtaining energy, building up new tissues and repair of old tissues. The unabsorbed food is sent to large intestine. The large intestine, the water is reabsorbed from the material. The rest of the material is removed from the body via the anus, which is regulated by anal sphincter. Okay, we used to wash our hands before and after eating food, but after eating food, we must brush our teeth. Why? What is the reason? Because whenever we are eating food, the food particles may go and stick inside the tooth, gum, etc. Already you know in our mouth, useful bacteria are also present. They go and sit over this food. After some time, this food material is converted into acid by this bacteria. You know the nature of acid, corrosive in nature. So it corrode the enamel and other material and make a pit and create pain. Later we have to remove the tooth. So if we want to take care of our teeth, what we have to do? We must brush our teeth after eating food. Okay, thank you. Respiration and transpiration we can see in next class.